What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here, and forgive my hair for looking like a freaking, I don't even know what this is, just a cluster hell. And so we have a short BFR for you today. Game 38 versus the Arizona Coyotes at 7:30 on January 6th. The Hawks came out, and him and the Coyotes played one of the worst games I've seen in a while. Kane was out for precautionary reasons. He didn't even play because of possible injury, and you don't want to injure him when he's trying to be traded. You want to get his value. Genther was returning to the Coyotes after scoring the golden goal for Canada in the World Juniors, and he didn't play, but he's on his way back, and I'm sure he'll be welcomed back to Hero. Seth Jones, 2023 All-Star for the Blackhawks. I completely disagree. I think Alex Stalock should be the All-Star for the Blackhawks because he has a winning record with this team. Of course, you can vote more in, but the Hawks shouldn't have more than one in there to begin with. And I think Stalock deserved it much more than Seth Jones. And there was also the Make-A-Wish for Luca Bear-Bish, who's dealing with a form of leukemia. And so the Hawks partnered with the Make-A-Wish Foundation once again. They've seen them do this numerous times in the past. A great thing. This is for kids, especially who may not. You're hoping for the best. They may be going some difficult surgery or going through some difficult times. It's always good for the Hawks to partner up and make these kids' dreams come true. The score of the game ended up being 2-0 shutout for the Blackhawks. They go to 9-25-4. Shots were 32-23 Chicago. Hits were 21-19 Chicago. Faceoffs were 35-15 Chicago. On the power play, Chicago goes 0 for 2. Arizona goes 0 for 1. Forgot to write that down. Ingram saves 30 out of 31. He stood on his head most of the game. And then Stalock saves 22 out of 22. In the first, Bukestad right off the draw starts with a breakaway. I don't know how he got this open. But Carcone then has a rebound, and he hits the post. How did they not score in the open net? Complete scramble. Forgot to mention that Reichel and Cini were in. Phillips was out. And this was Cini's first game in a Blackhawks uniform. He was originally a Devils draft pick. Then 12-12, Arizona penalty to Moser for hooking, which would be killed. It was a good power play. Reese Johnson was stopped. Fisher has a chance blocked. Hawks pressure. Domi hits the crossbar. Khrushchev looks like he scored, but apparently it hit the post and went out. It really looked. It seemed like everyone in the building thought it was in, just from the angle it was shot at. Radish hits the post. Reichel's wide. Lafferty denied. Domi is stopped. In the second period, it starts to get scrummy. Athanasiou is stopped. Then at 13:35, it's an Arizona penalty to Chychrun for hooking, which would be killed. And that was a decent power play, not the greatest. Lafferty took a puck to the back of the head, which probably hurts. But then at 8:05, it's a Chicago goal. It's just Jake McCabe tees it up, and he scores his second of the season from Seth Jones and Max Domi to make it 1-0. Seth Jones is unstopped. Reese Johnson on a breakaway stopped. McCabe looks for another. Taves and Athanasiou are denied. Reichel is denied. And we go to the third, where Lawson Krause comes down, slap shot right in the center of Stalock's mask. And that was scary because he shook his mask right off. And you see him spit something, you'd hope it's not blood. And he ended up being fine. He stayed in the game, and he ended up getting the shutout, so that was good. Carcone is absolutely robbed. Arizona pressures. There's a scrum. Cini has a chance that missed. Gostisbehere takes a high stick from what looks like Tyler Johnson, and there's no call, but after review, it turned out to be his own stick that ended up getting up high on him. 9:43, Chicago penalty to Lafferty for interference, which would be killed. The Coyotes pulled the goalie at 1:25. There's a timeout at 56.9 seconds for Arizona. And at 44.1 seconds, it's a Chicago empty net goal for Tyler Johnson, his fourth of the season, from Taves and Lafferty, which concludes the game and gets the Hawks their first shutout of the season. And now they're only 2 points behind Columbus, so who's the real winner here? But Anaheim also won last night, so that gives us more ground on them. Columbus just keeps getting Columbus. That's the only way I can put it. Changes in the standings, nothing new in the East except Florida moving up 2 spots, but from Ottawa and Detroit, they're starting to look like they're finally getting it together. And then in the West, Nashville moves ahead of Colorado here, as they've won 3 in a row now. So good for them. It's a team I had making the playoffs, so if they make it, I don't mind. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.